Hello, everybody. Welcome back to week 7 of Summer Justice Online. Already almost done with this class, but we still have 2 weeks left, including this one. So this week we were asked to pick between a few different prompts that relate to racial justice, similar to last week's content. I know we did an essay last week on race, so we were asked to make connections with the reading as we go along, as per usual. So the prompt that I chose this week was as follows. The lecture critiques common approaches to racial justice, colorblindness, multiculturalism, and cultural relativism, highlighting how each, despite good intentions, can fall short of addressing systemic inequality. Which of these approaches have you seen in your community or conversations? How might Christians move beyond these limitations to pursue a vision of racial justice that both acknowledges real differences and actively confronts injustice? So, before I dive into that prompt, I'd like to touch on what Keller is doing, trying to get across in the readings. So, weaving in the readings, he says that as Christians, we need to be more focused on the root systemic issue of racism rather than just meaningful but small acts of kindness towards individuals. He also talks about how sin can be part of a larger system and not just part of an individual, which I thought was a really unique and interesting distinction to make, because not really one that I usually think about. So all that information we'll touch later on in the prompt, but for now I'll focus on which poor approach I have seen of racism. I can't come up with a specific instance where I've seen this poor approach to racism or combating racism, but I have been exposed to the colorblindness way of thinking that tries to eliminate race from conversations. I don't see color, that argument. And we talked about how this falls short because it kind of negates what is actually happening on that root level, going back to what Keller was trying to say. That he was trying to convey that equal treatment does not mean equal opportunity. So that's why that's insufficient. Now going on to the second part of the prompt, how might Christians move beyond these limitations to pursue a vision of racial justice that both acknowledges real differences and actively confronts justice? And I said by not beating around the bush. Just telling things how they are, not being afraid to call out injustices or seek to fix systems that they know are wrong, not shifting responsibility, taking it upon themselves to bring about equality. And that's all I have for you. So catch you on the last one next week. See you around.